Okay, first thing I got to say, where's Mike Cipineri? I know he's in Italy. The fact is, I'm filling in for him. I was coerced. No, I was asked to do this, and as master of ceremony today, and I'm glad to do this. I have to thank Dave Poxon for twisting my arm on this. But yeah, you're right. Anyways, let me give you a little background who I am. I'm Chris Kurowski. I've been retired now from Fiat Chrysler since 2009 and worked in engineering program management. Switching from that, though, the fact is in the last 10, 12 years, I've been commissioner of a senior softball league. And by the way, if you're interested, let me know and we can handle that. I have over 200 guys that I work with. I manage 2 leagues and play ball still, and it's a lot of fun. So anyways, let me briefly go over a few things. First, how was your breakfast? Good to hear. And for the wait staff? Yep. The punchkis will come later. You know, it is punchki day. If you didn't know that. And me being Polish, well, hey, this is my day. I only want one though. I was also informed the way you test which one, because there's 8 different varieties, is that you take your finger and you push. Don't do that, all right? On the other side, oh, that way you can, okay. Interesting here is that San Marino has been our home for 12 years now. Kind of coincides with the fact that as the sign says here, we got 15 years as an organization now. I can say yes, as this is the 53rd meeting. It doesn't mean a whole lot except it's another number. I think the 15 means more in the year standpoint, you know, and it's a lot to be said of the people here represented. Anyways, I got a few other items here. Did everybody watch the Super Bowl? Really? Who cares? Go Lions! Anyway, then I got another item. There's a select news media picture out and YouTube video I just recently saw of over 1,200 stranded and abandoned EVs in Chicago during the last month's deep freeze and snowstorm. And to note, they didn't have power after a full charge. They only got maybe 150 miles. No place available to charge, and a 4 to 5 hour charging time. Really? Believe it. That's my joke. It is an issue. We know that. Moving on. It's still amazing that we were able to sustain a string since 2008 of being able to do this. The fact is that, you know, you had a pandemic to deal with. You had the company changing from Fiat Chrysler. You know, I don't know how many name changes we go through. And the fact that now we're Stellantis. I think most of us still think we're Chrysler. I think the majority of people here can say that. And that's good. And that's the reason we're called the National Chrysler Retirement Organization. We don't say Fiat, we don't say Stellantis, it's Chrysler. We have that seniority to do that. Anyways, there's over 100 of us today represented, and we also, with the webinar, over 80 people on the other side. And the fact is, it just shows that there's a lot of people out there, you know, we call them snowbirds, and the fact that they're watching us well. If not, they'll see the tape later. So let's review a few more things here. A reminder that our website, ncro.org, is still new. It was just launched last year. It's more user-friendly, easy to navigate, colorful, still full of useful and fresh, relevant info. I suggest you look at it and go through it. Please try to keep your personal contact list up to date. You can do this on the new website, also under members only. The tab at the top of the homepage, you just need to input your last name and your NCRO ID number. NCR dues, if you haven't paid them yet, do so, please. We depend on them. For the most part, it's at the end of the year thing, but it's only February, and some of us, our memories aren't as good as they used to be. Please continue to support our retiree-friendly dealers who advertise on the homepage of our website. Matter of fact, we have a couple representatives here today from the dealerships. It's a win-win situation. They always support us, we support them. It's a two-way street. Any questions or issues, including insurance questions, please call our office, 248-633. You're not going to remember this, 2827. But the fact is, if you go to the website, it's on there, okay? And now let's review today's agenda. Good slide there, Dale. Matter of fact, when I seen that slide, it reminded me to shut off my phone, but my kids bought me an Apple Watch, and I don't know if anybody has one of these and that, but there's two things with it. One, if your phone rings, your watch will ring at the same time. I didn't want that to happen, especially up here. But the other thing is, if you ever fall or have a incident, okay, it will call 911 for you. When I first got it, I was riding my bike with my kids, and just so happened I hit a curb, I fell, and was calling 911, and my daughter's over there. What are you doing? I'm over there. I just fell, Anyways, these technologies are amazing. I didn't really need 911, but anyway. Let's go over the agenda here. Breakfast, all right. Jay Cooney, we'll have him come up right after me here. Fact is, then we have our featured speaker, Jack Dolan. He'll be talking about life inside and outside of Chrysler, retiree's perspective. He has some history here because he got about 33 years. And the fact is, then we have Q&A for about a half hour, and then to close it out and a complete key speaker presentation. So, all right, Jay Cooney, you're next. Thank you.
Well, Manager way up here. Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Chris, for hanging in for Mike. I think we'll have you as his stand-in all the time. You did a great job. Appreciate it very much. Welcome, everybody. Nice to have you here this morning. Even a beautiful day here in Michigan. And for those on the webinar, many of them in Florida, we wish you were back here with the cool weather and a nice sunny time. So we appreciate everybody on the webinar as well. Most of you that are here don't realize we do that. We broadcast this, so there are people all over the United States. I know there are people that are up in California that are actually watching this, so it's a real opportunity. The other thing I don't do enough is I don't kind of thank the other parts of the organization. I get up here and get to speak, but there's so many people that are behind the scenes that are doing things for the organization. First of all, the guys over here, Dale Cook and his band of guys that are here. They're here yesterday setting up, working things up. They're here all morning, setting things up so we can have a pretty good meeting with the webinar and all of the speakers and everything they put together. So thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. And it really works pretty smoothly. But if you see the behind the scenes going on before this starts, yes, there's a reason. It would be a great film to put on YouTube, though. I think that maybe we'll do that one day. We'll film it. The other people I'd like to thank are the board members. I don't do this enough. The board members of the NCR, they work tirelessly for you guys and to support me as the president. The amazing hours they put in and their dedication to try to work to make the retirees' lives better. It's amazing. So I really thank the board members for doing that. The other group I've talked about before, and I really don't spend enough time doing it, is for the insurance committee. And Mr. Brown, Rich Brown, is the chairman of the insurance committee, and it's really strange. I'm not exactly sure how 15 years ago or whatever it was that we named it the insurance committee, because they really don't do insurance. So it's strange. But what they do is they try to do everything they can do to help our retirees and our members with their issues that they run into, whether it's some issue with Chrysler in pensions, or whether it's an issue with healthcare, or whatever the issues are. I mean, they're there to be an advocate for you. And I've said this before. And I've said this to the company. When retirees are working, we have a relationship oftentimes with people inside the company. So if you run into something, I used to go downstairs to fourth floor to Joe Trotta and go, Joe, I got a problem, and I could get it handled. When you retire, you lose track of anybody. You can't get into the company. You got to go through Benefit Connect or whatever. So the insurance committee is a tremendous asset for you guys if you run into issues. So if you do, you know how to get a hold of us. I mean, it's insurance committee. It's on our website, and you can get to them if there's an issue. Worst case, jcooney@yahoo.com. You can send it to me, and we'll try to help you get it done. A lot of things that come up that we work very hard on. So just a kudos to the insurance committee. They do a tremendous amount of work for you. The other thing I want to do before I get into my remarks is, I don't know if anybody saw the new Chrysler Reinvented yet on YouTube or whatever. Have you seen it? Interesting. Pete Hollinson and I worked on a lot of Chrysler brand stuff, and I think if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth you going online and looking at it. It's Chrysler.com, and you can then touch on it, and it shows you a little idea. It's a Halcyon, which is a concept car. It's kind of really cool, but trust me, you can't build it. Anybody who's been in that part of it, manufacturing, know you can't bend sheet metal like that and put it through a plant. But it's a really interesting concept. My comment would be, I'm not sure it tells me where the Chrysler brand is going. That'd be my only comment. And I'm not sure we could build that car, and with all the technology in it, it might cost $120,000 because it's kind of crazy. But anyway, take a look at it. I think it's worth doing. So my remarks. Yes, I'm going to take you through two quick things. One, we had a meeting with FCA, and frankly, it is not Stellantis. The U.S. organization is still Fiat Chrysler Automotive LLC. Yeah, it's still FCA. If you go look at anything, they're technically still FCA USA LLC. So we don't have to call it Stellantis, and we refuse to do that when we deal with them anyway. So you don't have to do that. We still call them Chrysler when we're in those meetings, and they don't object. So I'm going to talk to you a little about that, and I'll talk to you about an issue that we're working on, which I've talked about, but I want to kind of give you an update on it, which is the pension annuities. Now, I don't know if anybody in here has been annuitized from the company, and they're not getting their paycheck from Chrysler, but they're getting it from either Athene or Prudential. Anybody here? Okay, I want to talk a little about that and what those issues are. FCA meeting. How do I say this? I was disappointed. That's all I can say. We met with on phone, obviously, because nobody meets anymore at the CTC. In fact, I'm not even sure what goes on there other than some of the design work and whatever is still there. But in terms of HR and all that, the meetings are all via phone. Met with Matt Smith, who's in charge of the HR organization. And we covered a bunch of things that we believe are on your mind, or at least on our mind, to protect our pensioners. The first one is to facilitate retiree membership in the NCRO. We've asked them on several occasions because, you know, recently, the last couple of months, there was another buyout / retirement, early retirements. And we've asked them continually to say, can't you at least let people know about us? And we've tried to explain to them that we're not trying to be an adversarial relationship with the company. In fact, if you read our mission statement is to do everything we can do to help them be profitable. We feel if they're profitable, guess what? Our pensions are better protected. So that's our goal. But we basically think that the attorneys have kind of told them, no, that they can't do that. But we're working on it, trying to get them to somehow at least let individuals know that we exist and that we exist to try to help the retirees kind of, you know, work their way through this malaise of retirement and what that means. You guys have asked us, and we do this every time we meet with them. Number 2 was an HRA increase. And we've historically done some analysis and we've presented these things to them. And the answer that they give us continually is, well, that's what Ford and General Motors do. So we're equal in the automotive industry. Well, we said, we understand that and appreciate that, but we thought you guys wanted to be a leader, and not just a leader in product, but maybe a leader in HR and in what you do with retirees. And we also explained to them that there are a lot of other companies that have HRAs, like AT&T, which is $4,200 for a spouse and the retiree. We said that we really think that's something that should be looked at. So, and I'll end this by telling you kind of what we got, the answers we got. The other thing was better HRA communication, because I know that the HRA system this year, in the past, it hasn't worked smoothly necessarily, but hopefully everybody who's got the HRA, hopefully it worked real well for you in January. That when January came, you either got a check for the amount of money that was left over and you hadn't been paid for in the previous year, or you got the money that was due to you in January, if you get automatic reimbursement. However, there were a lot of people that didn't know what was going on in January because nobody sent us anything, except they'd send it to us in October when they gave us the information about how to sign up for insurance or how to sign up for healthcare, depending upon what stage you're in. That was in there in a small little blurb that the HRA would not be changed. It would be the same as it was the year before. And I don't know if anybody saw that in October. Did anybody see that in October? Yeah, I see a few of us. But we said to them, gee, it would have been nice in December, sometime in the middle of December, to go remind. Said, you know, hate to say we're getting older and we don't always remember things. And we said it would have been really nice to, in December, to say, hey, just remember in January, you're going to get your stuff and here's how it works. So they said that would be an interesting thing and maybe they'll take a look at it. The next thing we talked about was UA benefit increase pass through to non-bargaining unit individuals. And historically, we've talked about this, historically, when the union would get something, a lot of times, generally, some of this stuff would flow through to salaried individuals. Interestingly, I said, I'll kind of do this. The answer to that was, we don't know yet what's going to happen. And I really think the issue is that the amount of increases that were given to the UAW this year may cause some issue with that flowing through to us. I don't want to panic anybody. I don't want to say anything it isn't, because the answer was, we don't know yet. We're still studying what the issues are. And there had been some proposals sent up to senior management and it sent back to do a little adjusting to it. So stay tuned. It'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with the increase that the UAW got and whether we'll get any of that or see any of that flow through to us. The next was pension plan funding. If you looked at the Move Forward program that Stellantis has put forward, the Move Forward 2030, if you read into that, it says that by year 2025, that the pensions will be 100% funded. We aren't 100% funded right now. I don't even know the exact state we're in because we're still waiting for the final information. But it wasn't funded at 100%, and they say they're going to do that. So we just asked them, how was the progress, and was that still the plan? Next, we talked about future annuitizations, because obviously that's something that they could do, and they could annuitize the rest of us that are not have not been annuitized yet. And we thought this is a good opportunity for us to talk about that and what is the plan. And that'll fall into what we're working on later. And then the last one was we would like to have regularly scheduled meetings with them. We used to have a little better. Since COVID and being all over the place, we haven't, and changes in management, we haven't had regularly scheduled meetings, but there was a commitment to do that. The bottom line is I'm a little frustrated, quite frankly. Just frankly, most of our inquiries still are open for their response. And I've sent a couple of follow-ups and explained to them I'm going to meet with our members today and was going to talk about it. I was really waiting and hoping that they would give me some more information. Basically, what Matt said to us was, gee, I don't know exactly. I'll get with my people and then get back with you. Haven't gotten back with us yet. And that was January the 11th as we met with them. So like I said, I'm a little frustrated. I think we will get some answers to these inquiries because they're important. They're important to you. They're important to all of us. So stay tuned. When we get back with them, which I hope will be in the next couple of weeks, we'll send out a special email or whatever to kind of give you a better answer. I wish I had better answers, but unfortunately, I don't have a better answer from them. So frustration, not as bad as frustration with Washington, but getting there. I've told you about the frustration with Washington, and this is one of those. And for those of you who are annuitized, this is very important for you. We've been working on this. We talked a long time ago about going through and working on another ERISA law change where we would protect pensioners from overpayments, and we got that through, and that was put into law at the end of a year ago to protect pensioners. But this one is an interesting one, obviously, and I've talked about it before, but I wanted to reiterate it, what we're doing. There's a tremendous increase in companies annuitizing pensioners. And annuitizing is basically gets them off the books and puts them over to an insurance company who will pay your pensions. However, the biggest issue with that is there's no longer any government protection. There's no PBGC protection. The protection becomes part of the insurance industry by state, and that can be anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 of protection for your lifetime. And if you think about it, that's probably not very good protection for us. Continuing to make sure that we get payments. So if something were to happen to an insurance company, that's the protection you get. So we think that's wrong, and we've been working on a solution to manage that. And the update to that, and why I want to talk about it, is we do have ERISA legislative language written, and it's been developed in conjunction with the Pension Rights Center in Washington, with their attorney and with the attorney of the NRLN's attorney, which we are a part of, and you are a part of the National Retiree Legislative Network. And that language basically does this. It requires a company, if a company is going to annuitize the pensioner and take them off the books and give it to an insurance company, that there's a requirement of reinsurance, meaning that the company has to buy insurance from another insurance company, non-related, to protect the 100% of the benefits. Interestingly, when we've talked this through to the Finance Committee, the Senate Finance Committee in Washington, they gave us an idea, which does two things. One, it's a really good idea, and two, it shows that they're interested in this issue. What they said to us, why don't you work have the PBGC also be one that could provide the insurance? So it would be provided by the government, and the government would protect it 100%. So it could either be through the PBGC or through an insurance company. We thought that's a great idea. So in fact, the language does say that it can be either through PBGC or through an insurance company. Why I think that's important, because the Senate Finance Committee is the one that would be responsible for trying to push this through. So they're very interested in it, and we have language all done. The other thing the language does is, for those who might be left in the pension plan, if they don't annuitize 100%, for those who would be left, there's a requirement that the company maintain the level of funding. So those who are left don't have reduced funding in terms of their pension. So those are two big issues we think are there. And we're working with, I can't, I've been asked not to say who this senator is that we're working with in his organization, but you would know him. He's from the Northeast, sort of, and you would know him very well. And they are very interested in pushing us through. So hopefully it won't take 6 years like it took us for the pension overpayment issue, but hopefully we'll get this taken care of shortly to where we'll protect those individuals that are annuitized. That will help those who are currently annuitized, and it'll also help anybody in the future that would be annuitized. So stay tuned. We'll keep you informed. Last but not least, part of the insurance committee, there's a subcommittee within that, which is called Aging Information Subcommittee. And those are the group within there that have put together seminars on all sorts of issues that we seniors get involved in as we get older. Just all sorts of issues. And we're looking to see if anybody out here would be interested in joining the group. Each year, they sponsor 3 to 4 webinars or seminars. It can be both. They can be in person or they can be just online. Subjects have included estate planning, which is important, advanced directives in terms of what happens with you as you're getting at the end of your life, pain management, hospice issues, grief management, dementia issues and things. And it's very educational. This group works very hard to put these seminars together. We also they update the portion on the website. If you've gone to it, there's an aging information section on there that they're responsible for. And they meet monthly via Zoom and or in person if they can sometimes. And Dale has agreed to take over it for a while as the chairman is going to leave and not be involved anymore. So Dale's going to take it over for a period of time. But if anybody's interested in being involved in that, I would say see Dale or go to the aging at ncor.org. Very important for us, and they do really, really good work as part of the insurance committee. So if you're interested, please, I see Dale, see me if you want to here, or go onto the website and do that. Again, we couldn't do this without you guys. We couldn't be an organization. We couldn't work hard for you guys in terms of what we do and the things we provide for you if you weren't interested in us and if you weren't a part of us. We thank you for support. And as always, we're here to help you. And like I said, if you can't go to the website, you want to do that, it's jaykuhnie, JAYKUHNIE at yahoo.com. That's my personal email address. You can contact me anytime. 248-760-6904. Call me anytime. Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Back, Chris.
Thanks, Jay.